I would like to talk to you about some of the things that you say on your videos. Now, you cannot say filth, flarm, filth on your videos.
Filth, flarm, filth? I never said no damn filth, flarm, filth.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't use the kind of language that you use, but you know what I mean when I say filth, flarm, filth.
What are you talking about? Filth, flarm, filth? Man, I'm sorry you even came on my show, man. Fuck you.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You cannot say fuck on your videos.
Get the fuck out of here. Gonna come on here with that bullshit. Fuck out of here, man.
That's alright, Jack. I've made my millions of dollars, millions and trillions of dollars. See, you have got to build viewers and subscribers, you see. Now, I'm trying to school you, you see. So if you don't want to listen to that, you just don't want to listen. Because I'm still getting my money regardless. Blah.
Okay, so I've had a couple of people approach me and say that that my videos are decent. They have potential, but I need to stop doing all that cursing. I guess I curse a little bit too much in my videos. It's part of the way I talk. I don't curse for the sake of cursing. That's just how I'm just being myself, and myself is I use some harsh language, especially if I'm talking about something that I'm really into, that I'm really passionate about. Some words are gonna fly out. So don't expect the cursing to stop anytime soon. If I offend anybody, I'm sorry. That's just me. That's my personality. So let's get into it. So welcome back to Retroland. I have another one for you. Another iconic classic film. This is my personal favorite hood classic of all time, and it is Menace II Society. So Menace II Society dropped in May 26th of 1993. This was also the same summer as Hard Target, The Fugitive, What's Love Got to Do with It, and of course the classic, iconic Jurassic Park. This was the directorial debut of Alan and Albert Hughes, 20-year-old twins who got their start in making music videos, and then they got a $3.5 million budget to direct this film, Menace II Society. And the film grossed, I read up on it, it grossed $27.9 million, which is not a big success, but it's not a huge failure either. It made more than its budget, but it wasn't a success at the box office. But once it reached video, it blew up. It became a cult classic. Everybody loved this film. Critics and audiences alike both love this movie. I can't figure out for the life of me why this did not make that much money. I mean, Poetic Justice, even though Poetic Justice didn't make a lot of money, it still made more than Menace did, and I'm sorry, but Menace was a far superior film than Poetic Justice. So, Menace is the story of Kane, who is a youth growing up in South Central LA. Contrary to Trey Styles and Boys in the Hood, Kane does not have any positive influences on his life. His mom and pop, his pop, Tat, was a dope dealer. His mom was a heroin addict. So there you go, you have a household with no supervision whatsoever. He just learns how to kill people and how to deal drugs at an early age. That's all he knows. And the only male figure that he had in his life was a character by the name of Purnell, played by Glenn Plummer, who was also known as Bobby Johnson from South Central, and he was also High Top in Colors. Purnell takes Kane under his wing and shows him the ways of the streets and how to survive in the streets. So that's pretty much all Kane knows is the streets. Now, Kane's not a bad person by a long shot. You know, when you watch the movie, you see that, you know, Kane is not a bad person at all, but he's just a victim of circumstance. And I hate to use the word victim, but it's like when you see him as a kid all the way up until he's 18, that's all he knows. All he knows is the street life. All he knows is drugs and killing, and that's all he sees. But at the core, you can see he is not a bad person. Now, when Kane comes of age, Purnell, his mentor, gets locked up, and he leaves behind his woman and his little son, Anthony, and his woman, played by Jada Pinkett, her character, whose name is Ronnie. Kane is obligated, you know, he feels obligated to look after them. So just like Purnell took Kane under his wing, Kane takes little Anthony under his wing and tries to school him the best that he can. And there is a scene in the film where it was really emotional because Kane and Ronnie go to see Purnell in prison, and Purnell has a one-on-one with Kane. They haven't spoken years, and Purnell pretty much tells him like, hey man, you know, the way I raised you was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Look after my son, teach him better than I taught you. And it was just an emotional scene. Every time I see it, I kind of get, you know, I get choked up a little bit. It really hits you. And there's a few scenes in this movie that hits you. But anyways, back to the story. So Kane takes little Anthony under his wing. You know, he looks after Ronnie, and Ronnie is trying to get Kane out the streets. So she wants him to move with her to Atlanta because she has a job out there. But Kane doesn't want to leave the street life behind. Like, that's all he knows. But of course, eventually he decides to go with her. And if you know hood films back in the 90s, whenever somebody tries to get out the hood, the main character tries to get out the hood, you know what ends up happening to them.
Hey, remember me? Benny Blanco from the Bronx?
So now let's get into the supporting characters, and that's what really made this film special also, was the supporting characters. You have O-Dog, played by Lorenz Tate, and O-Dog is Kane's best friend. He's his ride or die, his G-Money. And O-Dog, as described in the movie, is the craziest nigga alive. America's nightmare. Young, black, and didn't give a fuck. That was O-Dog.
Hey, you not to drink beer in store. Hey man, I'ma pay you. Hey look, bitch, stop following me around this motherfucker. You getting on my nerve.
I don't want any trouble. Just get out.
I can't stand y'all.
I feel sorry for your mother.
What you say about my mama? You feel sorry for who?
I don't want any trouble. Just get out.
I think it's out here.
You have AWACS, who is the OG of the group, played by MC8. You know what I'm saying? And AWACS is the oldest one. He's the OG of the group. He's the one that they kind of look up to somewhat. And then you have Stacy, who is a star football player who also wants to go to Atlanta and tries to get Kane to go with him because he has a scholarship to play football. And then you have Sharif, played by Vontae Sweet. And Sharif is the ex-knucklehead turned Muslim. You know, he was just like Kane and those guys, you know, just doing crazy shit, getting all kind of crazy stuff. And then he found Allah and became a Muslim. So, of course, Menace and Boys in the Hood being around the same time frame, they're like 2 years apart. Same kind of film. They're always being compared to each other, and I'm not gonna do a whole versus thing, you know, like I did with New Jack City, King in New York. But some people prefer Boys in the Hood, some people prefer Menace. Me personally, I prefer Menace to Society because I felt like the film just had more energy. I felt like it really delved deep into the hood life and what life is really like in that area. Whereas Boys in the Hood showed that too, but it's like Menace went more in depth with it. You know what I'm saying? So overall, man, Menace to Society was just a classic film. And how can I not forget? I said when I did this review, I had to throw this scene in there because you know I like to give a clip or two of the movie that I'm reviewing when in Retroland. So I had to throw this clip in there because this is my favorite scene in the whole film. Samuel L. Jackson as Tat, Kane's daddy, at a card game disputing with another brother about paying him his money.
The fuck you mean you ain't got the money yet? Motherfucker, you best be coming up with my cash else, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck you, Jack. Fuck you think you is, man? Motherfucking Ron O'Neal or something? Talking about I better pay her out. It's your bitch, nigga. I told you I'll pay your monkey ass when I feel like it. Better suck my dick.
Fuck on this
Ted, what the fuck, man?
Fuck you tripping off of?
You owe me some money, motherfucker!
Hell no, but here you go.
So yes, Menace to Society is just, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. I loved everything about this movie. I know I always, go over the likes and dislikes, and there's nothing that I disliked about this movie. From beginning to end, even when the movie did slow down a little bit, when Kane and Sharif got harassed by the cops, and then he had that interrogation scene with Bill Duke, even when the film slowed down, like, it still kept me in it. It was fast paced, it was energetic. There was so many iconic one-liners. The first time I watched it on VHS, You know, it's funny, a lot of these hood classics I ain't get to see in the movies. I know I watched either on VHS or bootleg VHS, but actually I rented this shit from Blockbuster, and when I watched the movie, I watched it all the way through the credits at the end, and I rewound it and watched it all over again. I'm gonna go ahead and grade this thing. MENACE II Society gets an A+. Okay, A+. This was the cream of the crop, the top hood movie of all time. It has the crown. A+, easily solid, not going anywhere. So my next retro review will be...
We both know there's more to making it than what happens on the court.
Here we go, turn it up, let's start. From block to block,
Dwayne Martin,
and the police.
Leon, Tupac Shakur, Bernie Mac, Tanya Pinkins, Marlon Wayans.
Now, I don't care if you don't believe in me, but I'm gonna make it anyway.
Above the Rim, directed by Jack Pollock. This film has not yet been rated. Coming soon.
So there you have it, my Retroland review for MENACE. Look out for Above the Rim coming soon. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe below, comment below what you felt about MENACE and what you would like me to review. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.